All praise to the Most High, Ahaya, and to his son, Yahayasha Hamashiach, Yada Haya. This is Brother Holly with the first Spirit of Truth broadcast here on their High House channel, as well as the House of the High channel, on this set-apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, my brothers and sisters, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, Yada Haya, and to his son, Yahayasha Hamashiach, who gave himself for us that we might have life, and that life is in him, Yada Haya. Now, in this first broadcast, brothers and sisters, I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I'm going to be brief. I'm going to be as brief as possible, brothers and sisters. Not that there's not a lot to talk about from the word. It's just that what I have been given by the Spirit of holiness to talk to you about today can be done in a very short period of time. But it has to be done in a very concise way during that short period of time. So I'm not going to prolong this any longer. Just a brief shout out, public service announcement that, I hate talking about public events, but this is important enough to mention. Next Shabbat, Most High willing, if we live, the Most High Son, Terry, and the earth remain, there's going to be massive protests in this country. So I would like to say to all my Hebraic brothers and sisters out there, sit this one out. Isaiah 26:20 is our marching orders going forward until further notice. Isaiah 26:20. And the reason that's our marching orders is Isaiah 26:21. So, get your Bibles out, look it up, and understand that those are our marching orders. Those are our instructions until further notice. All praises. We'll be reading primarily from the Learn Pale Hebrew Torah, Lashwan Kodash, Holy Tongue, Yashahah Bible Scriptures. And I say primarily, if I have time, we'll jump over into the Wisdom of Solomon from the Apocrypha. But let's go. Turn me to Isaiah chapter 10, starting at verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Will you highlight? What does that sound like to you? That sounds like an executive order. That's grievous. That's unrighteous. And we're going to see what kind of things would make a grievous order or a grievous executive order unrighteous in a moment. I'll read it again. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that describe unrighteous, decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment. That's the first thing they want to do. They put down these orders at the highest level possible to pervert judgment, to take away something that someone has a right to. And it's going to say it right here in a moment. To take away rights from someone who needs to have their rights protected and needs to have something done for them by the system. They're going to write these unrighteous decrees to take their rights away. Isaiah 10:2, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor. And you say to yourself, brother, who's the poor? Anybody less fortunate than you are. That's who the poor are. But the poor are not having their rights defended. The poor are having their rights taken away by these unrighteous decrees. And the word woe in verse 1 is destruction. Destruction to the one who's putting out these unrighteous decrees. I read verse 2 again. To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey. You see where their target is. They're going after unprotected people. People don't have no top cover. A widow here is a woman who's lost her husband, but she's also lost her strength in the community. So anyone who's powerless in the community, that could be considered a widow in this. That the widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. There again, they're going after the powerless people to take away the little that they have. I mean, this is a disaster of epic proportions. That's why the Most High's judgment is so swift against it and so final. Let's read it. I'll read verse 1, 2, and 3. I'll read verse 1 and 2 again. Then we're going to read verse 3, which is the judgment. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. That sit there and govern by, the edict of the day. Now, I hate talking about public events, my brothers and sisters, but this is important. It's important for you to know what's about to go down and why. They have wrote these unrighteous decrees, and for writing them and putting them out there and acting on them, they're arresting people in the street for nothing besides criticizing them. They're setting people up and then taking them out of the country. They're just doing anything. They have no regard for good order and decency. They have no regard for the people that they're trampling on. None. And the Most High sees this. He ain't putting up with it no more. They're about to be judged heavily. That's Isaiah 26:21. That's why we need to stay out the way. Isaiah 10:1 again. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and their right grievousness, which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. And what will you do? Verse 3, Isaiah 10:3. And what will you do in the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far? You about to get hit. To whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? Oh, you're not going to get to keep nothing you stole. You're not going to get to keep nothing you bum rushed. You're not going to get to keep a thing. Matter of fact, everything you ever had is about to get taken away. Who are you going to leave it to? Ain't going to be nobody left to leave it to. I read verse 3 again. And what will you do in the day of visitation? Listen up, America. And what will you do in the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will you flee for help? You can't go to Mexico or Canada. They can't stand your guts. And where will you leave your glory? Without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall turn far under the slain. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Most High is doing both. He is just gritting his teeth. His anger ain't going to be turned away. Oh, you guilty. You earned it. But his hand is outstretched still. Who is his hand outstretched still to? The poor, the needy, the fatherless, the widow, his people, the oppressed. Oh, he knows how to protect his people and preserve the righteous, and how to hold the wicked still to be punished. He does both. Ask the Egyptians about that. They had every plague you can imagine in Egypt. But in Goshen, where the Hebrews were, everything was just fine. That's how it's going to be here. Where the Hebrews are, will be just fine. Where the fatherless are, where the widows are, where the orphans are, it's going to be just fine. But you heathens who clap your hands at the destruction of these helpless people. They're helpless people. But you clap your hands at their destruction. Most High going to laugh at your calamity. I'm here to help. Isaiah 10:5, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. The Most High is using somebody. In this chapter, he's using the Assyrians. He may be using somebody else for you. I will send him against an hypocritical nation. Whoa. Give me a full timeout. I'm a coach. Give me a full timeout. It's not this country. America, a hypocrite nation. Let's see just one sliver of your hypocrisy. Since you say here in America that you are Bible believers, that you follow the scriptures. Well, let's see. I'm going to read from Leviticus chapter 19 in a moment. But what I'm about to read from Leviticus 19 is the Most High's immigration law. This is his immigration law. And you say, you got on your money, you trust him. You say, you're a Christian nation. That you love the Most High. You love his word. The current self-proclaimed king in this country has his own version of the Bible. So you pretend to show high fidelity to what I'm about to read. Let's see if your actions, if your unrighteous decrees are in line with the Most High's law. Let's see. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 33. And if a stranger sojourn with you in your land, you shall not vex him, will you highlight? If a stranger comes into your land and stays there, he ain't just passing through, he sojourns, he stay there, set up camp in your land. What does it say? You shall not vex him. You shall not trouble him. You shall not bother him. You shall not roll up on him and arrest him and fly him to another country and throw him in a hoosegow. You shouldn't do that. Let's see what you should do. Leviticus 19:34. But the stranger that dwells with you shall be unto you as one born among you. You're to treat the stranger. Listen up. Listen up, hypocrite nation. Listen up. You are to treat the stranger among you as one who was born here. You're to give them the same rights and privileges as a natural born citizen of the country. If you're following the scripture, if you are truly Christians, if you're truly Bible believers and follow what's written as it is written, thus saith. If you're truly thus saith, but you say you are because you got it on your money, you trust him. We're going to see. We're comparing your unrighteous decrees to the word on just one area. Immigration. I'm reading to you the Most High's immigration laws. I'll read them again in case you missed it. Leviticus 19:33, if a stranger sojourn with you in your land, you shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwells with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am Ahiah, your most high power, your almighty Hiah. All praises. Back to Isaiah chapter 10. Why did I read from Leviticus 19, you ask? Well, isn't it obvious? I'm pointing out to you that you are the hypocrite nation. You're it in this day. You're the ones who write these unrighteous decrees. You're the one to take the rights away from people. Take their right to judgment away. Take their right to support away. Take their right to exist away. You're a hypocrite nation. So what's going to befall the hypocrite nation? Isaiah 10:6, I will send him against a hypocrite nation and against the people of my wrath. So now you've gone from being just the hypocrite nation. Now you're the people of his wrath. Wow. I will give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire in the streets. You're about to get destroyed. The Most High is going to empower a nation against you to destroy you. Nothing you can do about it. I got to read the next verses. Because this nation is about to get stirred up. I ain't even thinking about you. I'll read verse 6 again. And I will send him against the hypocritical nation and against the people of my wrath. I will give him a charge to take the spoil, to take away the prey, and to tread them down like the mire in the streets. Howbeit, he meaneth not so, neither does his heart think so. But it is in his heart to destroy and to cut off nations, not a few. For he said, are not my princes kings, altogether kings? Aren't not my mighty men and my leadership, aren't we royal? Aren't we kings too? Nations are rising up against you. You're the hypocrite nation. They're going to be given a charge by the Most High to take the spoil, to take the prey, and to destroy you like they would mud in the streets. They're going to stomp a mud hole in you. Why? Because you've taken away the right from the poor. You've hurt widows. You've hurt orphans. You've hurt the fatherless. You've hurt the weak. You've kept back that which was right. You've vexed the stranger that lived among you. You've earned every judgment that's coming. So enjoy your rebukes. You earned them. All praises to the Most High, Ahiah, and to his son, Yahayasha HaMashiach. Yada. Hiya.